Alright, hello everyone and welcome to NFL Discussion. I'm your host and NFL enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing Thursday Night Football, Week 10 of the 2023 NFL season. And this was a game that pretty much on paper, it played out like everybody probably thought it would on paper. Yeah, this was not the most appealing matchup, and the unfortunate thing is that even though the NFL said that Thursday night games can be flexed, I think it's unlikely that they actually do. This would have been a game to flex, but again, I don't really see how it works out all that well to try to flex a game anyway. So this is what we were stuck with. Props to anyone who watched the game from start to finish. I know I did. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into the action, starting with the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young completed 21 of 38 passes for 185 yards. Young averaged 4.9 yards per attempt while completing just 55.3% of his passes. He took 3 sacks on one of the league's worst pass rushes. As inaccurate as that stat line would suggest, Young did hit one chunk gain on the night, finding a receiver named Mike Strachan for a 45-yard play-action strike. The most concerning moment came in the final moments of the game, where the Panthers declined to let Young attempt to convert a 4th and 10 and called on weak-legged Eddie Pinheiro to try to make a 59-yard field goal, which fell several yards short, and the game was over. Chuba Hubbard rushed 9 times for 23 yards and 2 receptions for 16 yards. And a horrible night for the Panthers offense. Hubbard touched Miles Sanders 11-4. Pro Football Focus charted him outsnapping Sanders just 30-23. Sanders wasn't in the game on the Panthers' final drive. But with Bryce Young doing absolutely nothing to threaten the Bears' defense, there simply wasn't any space for Hubbard to operate. Ground game did not produce in this game. Adam Thielen got 6 of 10 targets for 42 yards, and after previously catching 7+ passes in 6 straight starts, Thielen has now been held to a scoreless 11-71 over the past couple of weeks. The really bad news is things will only get tougher in Week 11 for the Panthers when they play the Cowboys, so ECATs. So overall for the Panthers, not a rough outing here for Bryce Young. Got outplayed by an undrafted rookie quarterback from Division II Shepherd University. So, in this season, that is just where seemingly nothing has gone right. Just another poor outing from Bryce Young here. I guess if you want to look at the positives, there is one thing, and that's Emar Smith-Marset scoring the only touchdown of the game for the Panthers on a punt return. So, at the very least, special teams showed up for them in this game. Chicago Bears. Tyson Baggett completed 20 of 33 passes for 162 yards and in 6 carries for 12 yards, making what should be his final start for a while. The undrafted rookie played number 1 overall pick Bryce Young to a standstill in a truly bad game of NFL football. Baggett kept it simple, avoiding sacks and peppering DJ Moore and Cole Kmet with 16 combined low-risk targets. That will most certainly give way to Justin Fields for Week 11 against the Lions. Although Baggett's play has been truly remarkable by the standards of an undrafted Division II prospect, he hasn't had the looks of a long-term number 2, but he still has almost certainly played himself into some sort of role for 2024. Deontay Foreman rushed 21 times for 80 yards and a touchdown, adding 2 catches for 12 yards. And with Khalil Herbert sitting out one final game, Foreman posted a new season high for handles, out-touching Roshan Johnson 23-9. He was the difference in the game when neither quarterback could get anything going through the air. He barreled ahead for what proved to be the game-winning 4-yard score late in the third quarter. So Herbert's expected back next week. You can expect some sort of committee, perhaps, at running back for the Bears, with Foreman being 1B and Herbert being 1A, and then Johnson being sprinkled in here and there. But DJ Moore caught 5 of 9 targets for 58 yards, and 50 yards were actually a new high water mark for Moore, playing with Tyson Baggett. The good news for Moore is that Justin Fields is expected back Week 11, as Moore has eclipsed 100 yards receiving in 3 of 5 complete games that Fields has played, finishing under 50 in the other 2. So for the Bears, victory here improves their draft position. Well, not for their own first-round pick, but for the one that for the one that would belong to the Panthers. But they own it because of that trade for Bryce Young that we all know about. So pretty much the Bears get a win here and improve their position for that other number 1 overall pick. And Tyson Baggett, it's not confirmed Justin Fields is going to be back, but then again, that's the expectation. So if this is his last game of the season, he goes out on a winning note. So I guess credit to him for filling in admirably. It wasn't great football, but he did the best he could. And Montez Sweat, I know a lot of people thought Chicago gave up too much, and maybe they did. Maybe a second round pick was too much, but ultimately I think it's better to get a guy like this before everybody else does. Get him before. Get him before. Yeah, like I said, get him before everybody else does. Even if you had to give up a second round pick for it, that way you got him on your roster and you got the first crack at trying to sign him rather than trying to outbid everybody else. Not that there would be a massive bidding war that Chicago would be able to win. I think they have the most money to spend next year, but still, get ahead of it. Get it done now. It makes sense. And also too, he's making an impact as well. He might not stuff the stat sheet, but he certainly helped turn up the pressure against Bryce Young. And with that, we'll go and wrap up this episode of NFL Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.